Thank you so much for watching our premiere. I really hope you enjoyed it. And we're going to head into our Q&A, which stands for question and answer period. With me, Adina Walker, the writer and creator of Deanie's Corner. All right. Let's see what those questions are. Okay, what is your main goal when it comes to this project? So the goal of this project is to put it on a streaming platform so that it can be accessed by many different people in many different communities around the United States as well as the world. Because I'd love this content to get to everyone. Any questions? Oh, how much do you think children are influenced by the media they watch? I say they, it says thou, but we know it's they. Anyway, I think it is tremendous. I think the older or the more we technologically advance, children are ingesting more media every day. So as we've seen with how Facebook or Metaverse has gone with Instagram as well, that children are heavily influenced by the media that they are absorbing. And I think it's important as adults, we sometimes binge watch shows and we'll just go through a whole show. And often with kids, we'll have them go through a bunch of YouTube series, but they're really not ingesting it in the way that they're taking all of it in. They're kind of watching it in short snippets. And I think it's so important as older, younger, that you have a steady person in which you have every week, every other day to every day there for you, and you know that that person's going to be there. It's just a comforting feeling, right? And so that is different than binging a whole show or having episodes all the time readily available to you. And these episodes are available to watch, or will be hopefully once we have the streaming service as well. But the point is that you know it's there and it's something new every day to every week that you feel is there for you as essentially your security or safety blanket, as all adults and children have. Oh. I'm sitting on my microphone, so I don't know where it went, but we're gonna find it. It's somewhere back here. Up all around. Where are you? Oh, it's right here. I put it in a fun place. Doo-doo-doo. So close. Perfect, I think. Almost. 1 year of tech, 2 years of tech, and 4 years of theater. Are we good, Corbin? All right. I hope you could hear me before, but who knows? It's live. Okay. If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why? Honestly, so this is one of my favorite books. It is Helga's Dowry. It has a lot of girl or women empowerment to me, and it is written by Tommy DePaula. Tommy DePaula also wrote Straganona, as well as many other books. And in 2016, he signed my book. And this is actually my copy from Lawrence School that I hid somewhere during book fair because I didn't have the money that day. And I said, you know, if it's there tomorrow, I'm going to get it. So I hid it under the stack of books and it was still there. So I've had this since I was 10 years old. So I would love, Tommy DePaula unfortunately has passed, but I would love to be his dream dinner guest because when he signed my book, he called me on the phone and told me how rare my copy was. And I was just like, you are just such a sweet man with so many great ideas and such an interesting life. And I would love to talk to him. Okay. I love your authenticity and positivity. How do you keep it up? What advice do you have for those awful days when everything goes wrong? So this is a piece that my mother always tells me. Which is essentially, no matter how bad your day is, to have at least one piece of goodness, happiness, or light added to it. And sometimes it's as simple as like, I've had not the greatest day, and I'm gonna get this cookie. And you know, it's not gonna fix everything, but I'm gonna feel a little bit better. Or maybe I'm gonna put on this outfit, or I'm gonna have a little perfume, or I'm gonna listen to a great song. And that can either be songs that put you in a wonderful positive mood,
Or maybe you just need to sit in your negative feelings for a little bit longer so that you'll feel better later and you have music to support that. For me, I'm a huge music person. Over TV and movies, music's my number one. So for me to get in a good mood, it's usually music. And then from that, I love stand-up comedy. I go through life thinking that many things are funny. I have a very childlike personality. And so, not that everything is a joke, but I live in a world that's more light than dark. And I purposely try to let more light in so that I can be in a more optimistic mindset. So that's what I would say. Yeah. What's next? Love that I have glasses. What, if any, elements of Mr. Rogers' model are you adopting for Deanie's Corner? And what new elements are you considering? So, I grew up with Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and I loved it. And all the parts of diversity and showing new ideas like one episode he's like, an electric car. It's a good idea. I'm just going to leave it here. Like just giving the children that idea for later without telling them what to do, letting their imagination or curiosity be explored through something simple. So my parallel for what he does is, of course, having a host. And in Mr. Rogers, they had the world of make-believe. So we don't have the world of make-believe, but we do have the core cast that you saw, which are the adults. So the adults are acting out the child scenarios so that they're hyperbolic, but also make the child realize like, that's hilarious behavior. It's entertaining to watch, but if adults are doing it, it shows that, maybe I could change that behavior pattern. But I also use that element of the adult classroom from the Saturday Night Live sketch with Gilly, where they have like Gilly is this misbehaving student who does all these wild things. So I sort of blended those two ideas to make this. So yeah, Mr. Rogers, heavily influential, and as well as this authenticity of always being yourself. And he said that kids always know a faker. And for me, it was always important to be myself most authentically. Like even when I'd come to classrooms, be like, I'm a little tired, not showing them that I'm exhausted, but just being like, I am a person, like you are a person, and we are all here today. How did you choose your cast? So for my cast, I have two amazing friends, one from college, one from a production of Ragtime in Boston. And we've been friends for over a decade now, Maritza and I, who was blowing bubbles in the beginning and is part of the adult core cast. And she is phenomenal. She is social media, Maritza like pizza. She's amazing. And I just knew that I wanted her on the show because she brings wonderful talent as well as beautiful light. And then my friend Tom is this like gorgeous, tall, amazing actor. And he's Tom McVeigh as well on socials. And I've always loved Tom. He's one of my best friends, and he's committed to people as well as his craft. And so I just wanted him in it. And for me, one of the things that is very important is to have people who want to be there, not just talented people who want to be there and are going to have a good work environment. That's the most important. You should be talented, but talent only gets you so far. I want you to be a good person underneath it and good to work with. And then I was like, okay, well, I have Maritza, who's very dark and queer, and I have Tom, who is also queer, but very tall, like a different kind of child in the sense of like taller in height. And then my coworker went to NYU for Tisch, and I wanted someone who was Hispanic, and I was like, perfect. So I knew he had talent. I knew him well. And then I wanted something else. And I was like, it would be really good to have another height diversity. And so I was looking through and I couldn't find what I wanted. And then I saw Deanie's profile and I thought, and also Deanie on socials as well. All of them follow Deanie's Corner on Instagram and Facebook. All of them follow as well. So if you see them, they're on their socials. But with Deanie, I didn't see that she had a huge body of work But I thought, you know what, her look is right. And I had asked her questions, and I liked the way that she answered those questions, and I knew that she was going to be a good fit, even though she hadn't had a body of work. And it's interesting about diversity because so often those that are not the typical cast don't have a vast resume of which to look from because they're not given those opportunities. So I don't see those as negatives. I'm looking more at the person and what they're able to bring. And then when it comes to the kids, I wanted to make sure that we were diverse in terms of gender, in terms of race, height, age, just looking different. Because for me, the differences I see from a Sesame Street and something like our show is, we're not calling attention to the diversity in the way of like, this is my different friend. It's like, this is just my friend. Notice that they're different, but they're just my friend. They're just like us. There's no difference here. They're just a person. So that's what I was seeking for. Are there any more? Corbin. Okay. How can I get updates on Deanie's Corner and future projects? So you can always follow us, as I said, on our socials, which are on Facebook as well as Instagram, and that would be Deanie's Corner. You can find us there. I'll be posting updates as much as possible until we have our website, which will also be deaniescorner.com. So you can always check there for websites. In terms of our next steps, as I said, we are seeking to be on a streaming platform. Hopefully we can still film it big. Brookline Interactive Group. And what was the other part of it? And then you can keep updates because we also want to participate in festivals again because we are seeking that streaming service. All right, what a good lead-in. Wow, Big sounds like a great organization. How can I help support it? You can go to brooklineinteractive.org/donate, and you can donate there to support. You can also become a member. If you're a Brookline resident, it is $50. If you are a Brookline resident and a student, that would be $30. And then more information is on the website at brooklineinteractivegroup.org, of which I'm a member. Is that all we got today? All right, so that ends our Q&A, but I really hope that you enjoyed what you saw, albeit brief, and that we can have more of this in the future. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And for those that celebrate, Chag Sameach for Hanukkah. Goodbye.